It's 5:30. We'll call the meeting to order. Ask you to rise with us for prayer and pledge of allegiance, please.
Lord and Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening and we thank you for the blessings that you've given to us. Lord, as we approach Thanksgiving, we have much to be thankful for. We do pray for those that have lost loved ones since the last holiday time and that they'll be missed at their dinners. Lord, I do pray for our sheriff's deputies as they serve our community and for our firefighters. Lord, keep them safe, protect them, help them as they protect our community. Lord, give us wisdom tonight as we come before you. And again, we have so much to be thankful for. Most of all, our salvation. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll go on to consent agenda. Got the approval of the minutes, accounts payable, and the charitable gaming license to approve.
Make a motion that we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Got motion and support. Is there any discussion, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll go on to Planters Ridge Phase 5. This is a public hearing for the Streetlight Special Assessment District. So we'll open the public hearing. And is anybody here from Buffum? Okay, do you have any comments you want to make? Or anybody have any questions for Buffum?
You need lights, right?
Gotta have streetlights.
And how's the sidewalk coming along? Okay, but even with the snow, huh? Yeah. Okay.
All right, we'll go to the public comments on the streetlight. If anybody has lots in Buffum's development that would like to speak on this. It's a special assessment district we have to do now so we can charge them for the streetlights once they get them in, so. No comment from the public, so we'll close the public hearing, the decision by the board. So anybody got any questions, anything about this?
Standard consumer's lighting package, right?
Yes, right.
Standard package.
Make a motion, we approve. Support.
You got a motion and support. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Patterson tank bed. Have you got something on there we're supposed to act on?
Yeah,
Recommendation.
yep.
Looks like the company that built the other two tanks
Yep.
has bid the lowest.
And there's only two that can bid anyway, and we did get both bids from those two companies, but the one that was the lower one was the one that's already been doing work for us before.
Only two are qualified by Eagle or.
Yeah, right, yep.
We pay half of this?
We pay half.
This is a 50-50.
Make a motion that we accept the low bidder.
Second.
Yeah, motion and support. Is there any other discussion, questions on this? Peggy, would you call the roll, please, on this one?
Sure. Amos?
Yes.
Me, yes. Becky?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Jay?
Yep.
Marty?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. 76th Street to Rail Yard, Kent Trails, path request. So this is the one going from Rail Yard to Byron Center.
No.
No, just to
no.
the Kent
Just the rail
Trail.
yard?
Just to Kent Trail.
Kent Trail
Okay.
to rail yard.
Kent Trails to Rail Yard. Yeah, just that far
Yep.
west piece. Okay.
In front of,
parcels.
front of Howard Gorehouse's old farm. That-
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
Two parcels,
Just two pieces there.
right, Jay?
There's a couple more parcels, but only two that we had to work out an easement.
Easement,
with,
yeah.
And this will be a 10-foot path connecting that development to the trail system.
All right?
And just for the
Trees.
benefit of the other board members, if we didn't do this, we would have to move the trail onto the road and then curve back, which is a possibility. But we just felt at this cost, this is a forever thing to have it straight.
The road's really wide right there, so that sidewalk would be right on the edge of the street. So to make it safe, they said, can we run it straight? So Zylstra's married to Gorehouse, and Gorehouse's place are the only two affected by this
Oh, okay.
piece, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can see the map on your
So
computer.
this is about taking trees out, putting trees back in, and regrading the yard.
So the trees are to replace the trees that are being taken out.
A couple of large ones that have been there 30-some years, yeah.
But what I thought was great in the road commission, we had a meeting with them, and actually what we're doing is we are paying for them for the trees and everything, and it's up to them. We don't have to replace them.
They hired all of
They're getting, so they can go, they can not put trees back, they can hire their own people, but we write the check and it's over. We can take the trees out, regrade, and they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So they don't have to put trees in?
No, it's what it would cost us to do it, but if we get into the trees in the sprinkler business, then we're maintaining and warranting the trees in the sprinkler business. And we don't want to be in that business.
So we just
Here's
get
a,
that.
here's a quality landscaper, here's the cost, here's what we're gonna give you. They said, yep, you can have the land, so.
And that's advice from the road commission that said they used to do it where they're like, okay, we took out 6 trees, we'll put those back. And then they're in the landscape warranty business for the next
Couple years.
multiple years.
Yeah.
So this is a way better thing where you just write the check and let the
Yeah.
homeowner kind of takes on that responsibility.
All right.
I'll make the motion that we approve the proposal.
Support.
Got a motion and support. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll go on to public comments. Anybody has anything for the board? You got 3 minutes. Where's the kids from? You guys from South Christian? All right.
Good evening. My name is Renee Smith, and I'm speaking tonight as a homeowner, a parent, and on behalf of families in this community. My children are here with me tonight because this isn't just a policy issue for us. This is our home, our daily life, and the water they drink, bathe in, and depend on. I want them to grow up in a community where basic resources like clean, reliable water are protected and not put at risk. We are here once again to raise serious concerns about the dewatering process and the harm this project has already caused. Homeowners have lost access to water, wells have already failed, and families have been forced to pay thousands of dollars out of pocket for damage they did not cause. While pumping has paused for the winter, the damage has not disappeared. And many residents are fearful of what will happen when Phase 3 begins in the spring. At the previous sewer committee meeting, I submitted a list of formal questions. I want to ask clearly tonight, do you have any answers to those questions? And if not, when can residents expect answers with a specific timeline? One of the most important unanswered questions remains whether a licensed independent hydrogeologist has reviewed this project and evaluated the real impact of dewatering on our groundwater. Not a consultant tied to developmental interests, not someone hired by parties who benefit from the project, but a truly independent expert. If such a report exists, we are requesting access to it. If it does not, we want to know why that level of professional review has not been done. Supervisor Don Tillema, you previously stated that you spoke with 2 experts who minimized the impacts and suggested the township should not be responsible. We are respectfully asking for transparency. Who were these experts? What are their credentials? And what information did they base their opinions on? This project has been driven by profit over people, and that must be acknowledged and corrected. Residents should not live in fear of losing water. Families should not be forced to absorb financial losses caused by a project they did not ask for. We are asking for transparency, accountability, and real solutions, and we will continue to show up until we get them. Thank you.
Point of clarity, power to do anything not prohibited. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. Donna Brandenburg, one of the people, as seen in Michigan Constitution Article 1, Section 1, Republican and form, sui juris, present this notice that you and your agents, as the trustees and servants, provide immediate due care to those with all political power, the people. Please take notice. It is my wish that you provide clarity regarding your constitutional authority to do things as long as it is not expressly prohibited in the Michigan Constitution. Please give a point of clarity. Are you free to do what is not expressly prohibited in the Michigan Constitution, or do you have only granted authorities which permit you to deal with things that are authorized by the people? Please take final notice. It is my wish, order, and demand that you respond by publicly posting this notice on Byron Township Office Building main door within 10 business days of receiving this notice, and have it posted for 30 days. This notice is sent to you in the peace and love of Jesus Christ, that you provide due care to those who have all political power, the people. Thank you.
I am speaking up again because these issues are
I'm
not
sorry,
going to...
can you stop for a moment? Thanks. Hold that thought. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Good.
I am speaking up again because these issues are not going away, and neither are we as residents. What many of you may not understand is that we will not stay silent about what is happening in our community. First, I want to address the conduct of the township supervisor. Driving past my home, slowly down directly in front of my home with your window down, is not an appropriate or professional way to check the sewer project if the intention was truly to monitor the progress. Then stopping to speak with the residents living next to or the ongoing project would have been this respectful thing to do. Instead, the behavior becomes across as intimidation. Second, I want to address the Montgomery excavating. Throughout this project, my family and neighbors have experienced engines revved outside our homes, tires squealed, workers yelling out their vehicle windows at us, and even trucks swerving into my yard at 6:30 in the morning. No community should be subjected to this kind of behavior. As taxpayers funding this project, we deserve professionalism and basic respect. Third, the project may be temporarily finished, but the mess left behind is unacceptable. Equipment and vehicles have been using the dead end of 64th Street as a parking lot, and the work site has not been cleaned up. For the amount of money residents are paying, the site should be restored properly, but instead, we get a look at a half-assed cleanup job with hydro seed being put down in the middle of November. Make that make sense. Fourth, we have been told that the township has no choice and that certain individuals such as Kilgore's are calling the shots on this project. That is extremely concerning. Township officials are elected to represent all residents of Byron Center Township, not just select few.
There's a serious impacts happening to residents' wells. Dewatering has lowered or dried up wells, yet the responsibility is being pushed elsewhere. Residents were forced to repair or replace wells should be reimbursed. The ones that still have no water or lower water pressure should be fixed at no cost to the residents, and the township must address the consequences of their own project. Switching from brewer to plumb drilling does not change the responsibility. Let me be clear. We are not walking away. We are not staying quiet, and we expect answers. We want this project stopped until the township does what is right. Address the damage caused, restore back the site to the original state, and treat its residents with the respect they deserve. We are not going anywhere, and we will continue to demand accountability.
Alrighty, my name is Calvin Essenberg. Sinkholes, fuel spills, mismanagement, OSHA violations, overtime, over budget, and this community is fed up with your guys' negligence. Families are without water, pressure's dropping on others. Other families here are making money off of their misery. To name a few, the Lipscombs, the Dessers, Kilgores, Camps, shall I continue? We asked for a way to not be forced into this, and it took weeks and meetings and lies. A lot of you told us that there was no other way. Specifically, you told us, Mr. Tillema, that this is just going to go through no matter what. There's nothing we can do about it. Little to find out a few weeks later, we weren't going to have to be forced into it. To point that out, none of you cared about trying to figure out a way for us to be supported in this. You just wanted to put it through our neighborhood when you guys don't even live there. Most of you aren't even going to be affected by a sewer project in the future because you guys live in a place where the pump stations would be too expensive to put the sewer project at. So you'll never know the pain. I pray that God puts that pain in your life. We asked for you guys to just put a pause, to look at the environmental aspect. No response, no care, no pause. We get people driving by with a window down. We get people like Sattler who said that I've been out there, I've been talking with Kent County. Well, then why isn't anything being done? Why aren't we pausing the project? Why aren't we talking to Montgomery Excavating when they're driving down my street with their phones in their hand, big old bucket truck, and the bucket's not even secured to their fork, and he's sitting there swerving on the road because he's on his phone. Do you know how many times I've had to call the Kent County Sheriff, and what a waste of resources it is because you guys don't want to do an oversight on the company you guys hired? If there was one person that did the project and there was only one bid that got put in, doesn't that make you a little nervous that maybe it shouldn't have been done in the first place? Maybe there was a sleazy amount of money coming out of this so that somebody went, yeah, we'll take the liability of this. That's what it sounds like to me. But anyway, do you see this? Overtime, over budget, and mismanagement. There's a reoccurring theme on both of this and all of this. They've never cared about this being done right, and they only cared about this being done. This township allows companies to build and sell one house. When they build new developments, this is for everybody here, when they build new developments, this township has never put any type of referendum or anything in to prevent companies from selling one house at an exorbitant amount and then setting the market for that entire neighborhood. You wonder why your taxes have been going up and why your house value's been going up, which is not a problem, but that is what's been driving up the entire house market in the United States, and this board doesn't stand to try and protect the community. They only try and protect their wallets. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Les Seedorf. I live at 2809 64th Street, Byron Center, and you guys are
Name
going to
again?
come. What?
What was your name again?
Les Seedorf.
Cedar.
And you guys are going to cram this stupid pipeline down our street, which is more than likely going to screw up my well, and I'll be in the same position as these people are, with no water, because my well's not all that deep. And you're going to screw it up and tell me, F you, because I want this in here. We're making money. We don't give a damn about you people on this street. You've proven that time and time and time again, and we are sick of it. Notice to Byron Township elected trustee in service, a sworn oath and binding notice to agent, notice to principal is notice to agent. I, Les Seedorf, one of the people as seen in the Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, Republican Forum, do present this notice that you and your agents, as the trustees in service provided, immediately due care to those with all political power, the people. Please take notice, you have voluntarily agreed to a sworn oath to support Michigan, state, and Constitution, which are lawfully binding express contracts with the people describing your official duties for which you are granted immunity. The people's rights to life, liberty, property, proceeds all government. Your oath to the support of the Constitution is binding to the trust of the state of Michigan. Michigan Constitution, Article 9, Public Officers and Employment, Sections 1, Oath of Public Officers. All officers, legislative, executive, judicial, before entering upon duties of their respective office, shall take and subscribe the following oath affirmation. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office according to the best of my ability. No other oath, affirmation, or any religious test shall be required as qualifications for any office or public trust. Maximum of law. There is no stronger link or bond between men and an oath. Trump versus United States, 2024, page 1. There is no immunity for official acts except maximum of law. The main object of government is the protection and preservation of personal rights, property, and public liberties, and upholding the law of God. Maximum of law. The government is to be subject to the law that makes the government. Mulberry versus Madison. The government of the United States has been apoplectically termed a government of laws, not of men. I will certainly cease
Your time
to
is up.
deserve the high application of laws to furnish this remedy. I'm almost done, sir.
Do what?
I'm almost done.
Oh,
Mayberry, please take notice. The absence of the oath does not excuse one from the obligations of the oath payment as secured receipt of a binding contract. Maximum of law. It is immaterial whether man gives his asset by words or by acts and deeds. Please take final notice. It is my wish in order and demand that the trustees' service acknowledge the sworn oath that they have taken by autographing the attached pages and publicly posting it at the Byron Township offices, building main door within 10 business days of receiving this notice, and have it posted for 30 days. It is your duty to read and understand the Michigan and U.S. Constitution in full. Ignorance of your contract
your time is up.
does not abolish you from the crimes you have committed. And that's what they are. You're destroying people's property and think that's okay with your smug ass look behind the fucking counter.
Kyle Moss, and I've got a public notice to read for you. Byron Township, notice to elected trustees and servants, there is no immunity for unofficial acts. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. I, Donna Brandenburg, one of the people as seen in the Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, Republican informed, sui juris, do present this notice that you and your agents as the trustees and servants Provide immediate due care to those with all political power of the people. Please take notice. Immunity from liability does not come from government, but by the people's constitution, trust, indenture, contract for the performance of that duty. The people do not grant you immunity for unofficial acts in opposition to your sworn oath. A trustee and servant who fails to act upon a duty of their office is responsible to the people for the consequences of that failure. See evidence below. Trump versus United States, 6603 U.S. 2024. There is no immunity for unofficial acts. Excerpt. Wilson versus Hawaii, 604 U.S. 2024. Constitutional rights are self-executing prohibitions on governmental action. A constitutional action accrues the moment the government undertakes an unconstitutional act. Americans need not engage in empty formalities before they can invoke their constitutional rights. Excerpts bolded for emphasis. Maxim of law, ignorance of those things which one is bound to know excuses not. Maxim of law, to swear is to call God to witness and is an act of religion. Maxim of law, if one has the power to prohibit or prevent a thing but does it not, it is as though he did the thing itself. Maxim of law, punishment is due if the words of an oath be false. Maxim of law, lapse of time does not bar the Commonwealth. And please take final notice. It is my wish, order, and demand that you respond by publicly posting this notice on the Byron Township office's building main door within 10 business days of receiving this notice and have it posted for 30 days. It is your duty to read and understand the Michigan Constitution in full. Ignorance of your contract, the law, does not excuse any acts against the people's benefits. If you believe any of these statements to be false, rebut by affidavit sworn under penalty of perjury, point by point, within 10 days of receiving this notice, showing your grant of authority to deprive the people of their inherent rights under the common law, or you agree by tacit acquiescence that all statements herein are true and shall be heard by an arbitrator of my choice. Any further actions will show you are acting with full knowledge, intent, and malice, trespassing on the people and their inherent rights, and that no court shall rehear this matter, but it shall stand as evidence, truth, and law in all courts of record. Anyone suppressing this notice agrees to pay $30,000. A response from an attorney not directly addressed by this notice will be considered a non-response. This notice is sent in the peace and love of Jesus Christ, that you provide immediate due care to those with all political power, the people.
Donna Brandenburg, and 6842 Byron Shores Court. I, Donna Brandenburg, I'm going to start from the beginning. Byron Township, Michigan, notice of maladministration, which is a higher crime than treason. Notice to agent is a notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. I, Donna Brandenburg, one of the people as seen in the Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, Republican informed sui juris, do present this notice to you and your agents and your trustees and servants, and provide immediate due care with all those with political power, which is the people. Please take notice. The people are aware of the frequent recurrence. Two fundamental principles as necessary for good government have assembled, now knowing your duty and responsibility to inform government trustees and servants when they are in danger of maladministration. The people have realized you have voluntarily agreed to serve us, not the agencies, when you took your oath to the Constitution. See evidence below. Maxim of law. A frequent reoccurrence of fundamental principles and a firm adherence to justice, virtue, and original law are indispensably necessary to preserve the blessings of liberty and good government. American maxim. Maxim of law. The government is to be subject to the law, for the law makes the government. Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Declaration of Rights, Section 3, Assembly, Consultation, Instruction, and Petition. The people have the right peaceably to assemble, to consult for common good, to instruct the representatives, and petition the government for redress of grievances. Maladministration. This term is used in the law books interchangeably with maladministration, with misadministration, and both words mean wrong administration. Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. New York Times Company versus Sullivan. The maintenance of the opportunity for free political discussion to the end that government may be responsive to the will of the people and the changes may be obtained by lawful means, an opportunity essential to the security of the republic and is fundamental principle of our constitutional system. Stromberg versus California. Imperative is the need to preserve inviolate the constitutional rights of free speech, free press, and free assembly in order to maintain the opportunity of free political discussion to the end that the government may be responsive to the will of the people and that changes, if desired, may be obtained through peaceful means. Therein lies the security of the republic, the very foundation of the constitutional government. DeYoung versus Oregon. Michigan Constitution, Article 11, Public Officers and Employment, Section 1, Oath of Public Officers. All officers, legislative, executive, and judicial, before entering upon the duties of their respective offices, shall take and subscribe to the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of, according to the best of my ability. No other oath or affirmation or any religious test shall be required as a qualification for any office or public trust. Maximum law. An oath is indivisible. It is not to be held by party, true or partly false. Please take notice. The people have assembled and instructed and petitioned Byron Township trustees and servants for redress of grievances during the public meetings. You have also been instructed to recognize and make corrections how you serve the people of the township with 4 notices and no rebuttals on these notices, meaning 19 Byron Township elected and appointed officials: Becky Beld, Jerry Burkpass, Bruce DeBoer, Mark DeHollander, Jay DeKline, Brandon Dykstra, Tom Hooker, Stan Yeager, Steve Kilgore, Jan Coons, Tim Newhouse, Joe Pitch, Todd Plummer, Ron Saban, Peggy Sattler, John Stone, Don Tillma, Marty Tillma, Scott Bergen, agreed by tacit acquiescence that all notices be faithful, true and faithful in fact. Point of clarity regarding the Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 1. Point of clarity, powers granted and trust do not decide. Point of clarity, power to do anything not prohibited. Notice to Byron Township elected officials. I'd like to read this last paragraph and then I'm done. Please take final notice. It is my wish, order, and demand that you return to our constitutional fundamental principles as promised by your oath, publicly acknowledged in your records, every lawful instruction given by the people as evidence thus far and into the future, investigate and seek redress of wrongdoings by Byron Township trustees and servants, and notice and grievances aired to you by the people, refraining to committing further unofficial acts for which you have no immunity against the people, and restore the damages done to the people by your unofficial acts. Additionally, it is my wish, order, and demand that the trustees and servants acknowledge a sworn oath that they have taken by autographing and attaching the list on page 3 and publicly posting the notice in its entirety in Byron Township office building, main door within 10 business days, receiving the notice, and have it posted for 30 days. It is your duty to read and understand the Michigan Constitution.
Anybody else?
Ignorance in your contract and law does not excuse any acts. You might want to wait until I get to the last paragraph. If you believe any of these statements to be false, rebut by affidavit sworn under penalty of perjury, point by point, within 10 days of receiving the notice, showing your grant of authority to deprive the people of their inherent rights under the common law, or you agree by tacit acquiescence that all statements herein are true and shall be heard by an arbiter of my choice. Any further actions will show that you are acting with full knowledge, intent, and malice, trespassing on the people and their inherent rights, and that no court shall rehear the matter, and it shall stand as evidence, truth, and law in all courts of record. Furthermore, the 19 above-mentioned trustees and servants agree to be held individually liable and to pay $500,000 per infringement of the people's rights. Anyone suppressing this notice agrees to pay $50,000 a response from an attorney who is not directly addressed by this notice and considered a non-response.
Anybody else? The 3 minutes is what you get. 3 minutes.
The really sad thing is that you don't want to hear what we say. And I'm trying to instruct you guys because you have broken the law. And I would just as soon not see anybody have repercussions from it legally. And that is our duty under the Constitution. That is our duty to try to help you when you've stepped out of your delegated authority.
Okay, thanks. We'll go on with our stuff. You got it?
Hi, my name is Maya and I'm 9 years old. Hi, my name is Maya and I'm 9 years old.
And my name is Jude and I am 11 years old.
We live here in our home. This is our home.
Water is really important to us and our family.
We just want everyone to have clean, safe water.
And we don't want our families to worry about losing their water.
Please keep our community safe. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Takes courage.
Anybody else? All right, we'll close the public comments. Members' items, Scott, you got anything? Jake? Becky?
I don't.
Marty? Peggy? No. I don't have anything, no other business before this board will adjourn.